So I'm watching I'm watching this Netflix video called Waco and the whole thing with David Koresh and the Branch Davidian compound, and then what the government is trying to do is break up that whole religious cult, break up that whole anarchist type of platform. And so it dawned on me that when you have clumpings like antibodies in your blood or tumerous skin growths or tumerous cells in your body, when you have a calcification in your pineal gland, the Jilly JUICE and the government serve to break up the calcification of our society. The government is like a balancing force. It's like salt. I mean, truly, if the government really wanted you dead, you'd all be dead. There'd be nobody around except for the government. But who is the government? The government is you. You're not going to hurt yourself. So it's interesting watching this Waco thing, and these guys are in this compound, and the government's trying to break them up, disperse them. And these guys in this compound, the David Koresh, they're very tumorous. They're kind of cancerous. I mean, when I go to an activist rally and it's just a clump of people, this is why they're doing the social distancing, because when you have a virus that is so communicable, that's where you have a very high concentration of the intense mutations. When you have a high concentration of people congregating together. Look, when you go to a concert, when you go to a bar, when you go to any kind of condensed gathering, you're getting so many people all at once just feeding off each other, and relative to their predispositions will be whether or not it'll be a peaceful gathering or it's going to be a very violent gathering. So I've always had an adverse reaction to critical mass in San Francisco. I never liked the fact that they stopped traffic. They stopped the arteries of traffic. I never liked the biker BS in San Francisco. Even though I did take part in the pro-abortion rallies way back when, but those days are long since gone. But I never understood why we would upset the flow of society and stop parents from feeding their kids or stop parents from going to work because you have an axe to grind with somebody that doesn't even exist, or with something that doesn't even exist. Let me tell you, if somebody wanted you dead, you wouldn't be here. See, that's what our society, who is so imbalanced, has failed to come to terms with. The fact that if somebody has an intention to kill you, you wouldn't be around. Okay, so the fact that, that our government is breaking up all of these people who are clumping together, whether it's anti-government or chemtrails or the anti-5G or the anti-Trump, pro-Trump, anti-Obama, pro-Obama, Rockefeller, Rothschilds, anything, when they congregate, even a peaceful march, it's still a type of tumor. It may not be malignant yet, but it's a tumor. I'm really thinking that the activism is like a tumor, and how imbalanced those participants are will be determined if it's malignant or benign. Peaceful marches are basically benign tumors, but very violent marches where people are being stupid are very malignant. And right now we're seeing an uptick of malignant tumors out there that are congregating out there on social media. So just as an homework for you guys, so you kind of see a picture of where I'm coming from, go look at all your groups. Go look at what they're saying. Go look at what they're doing. Go look at who they're demonizing. You will see the malignant tumors in our society by what they are accusing people of, with no substantiation, with no real substantiation in a court of law. Not some article out there on freaking YouTube or video on YouTube, not some whatever, blog site that they want to accuse somebody of, but you have to actually see a due process to where somebody is indicted and convicted of a crime. So I'm telling you, we have a lot of cancerous people in our society, a lot. And not only are their ideas very cancerous, but their body, mind, and spirit will eventually go into that direction because of the very fact of their belief systems. And of course, they are taking the pills, powders, and supplements and detoxes, and they're making false accusations against people they know nothing about. And so I've suffered that from people who are ignoramuses, that are cancers in our society, who are making false accusations against me with no substantiation. And even though they don't actually say it in so many words in some of these articles, they inference it to where a not very articulate person would make an assumption. And that is the deception of some of the cancers out there. They make it sound like, oh, it's just a growth, no big deal, until it turns cancerous. See, and that's where our society has gone wrong, is there people are willing to embrace the growths on their body and be okay with that until it becomes cancerous. And then by that time, it's too late for some people. Okay? So the Jilly Juice has you understand how tumors and growths and gatherings and anti-government people and activists all have something in common. They clump together, they become cancerous, and then potentially maybe benign, but eventually malignant. So you're going to see some interesting patterns. Just watch out. Look at all the different groups you belong to. You'll see. Bye.